Try again.
It says
Oh,
prepare.
there we go. This meeting is being live streamed. There we go.
Okay.
Okay. We're good. Welcome, everyone.
But where is everybody? I don't see you. Oh, here we go.
Down at the bottom, there's there we go. This meeting is being live streamed. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. We're good. YouTube.
Well, where is everybody? I don't see you. Oh, here we go.
Down at the bottom, there's
Okay, Renee, you're going to have to walk me through this because you've all disappeared and I don't know how to get you back.
You can hear me though.
I can hear you.
This meeting is being live streamed. Oh, there we go. Just hit mute on YouTube.
Okay.
And then down at the bottom, you should see with the little toolbar should be a Zoom icon.
Okay.
Found us? Here we are.
The technician is learning. I've got a big learning curve here.
Welcome. Welcome. We're going to begin with the light of divine being and join in the light that's here. And we were hearing from Jesus to look at the desire to feel fragile. That was what came up first, but we've been invited to go deeper and see if there's a desire underneath that. And we can just share what we're hearing. In the Joining in Light Miracle worksheet that's given by Jesus to walk us through desire for experience of not being the light. That's on the website, joininginlight.net. And he just gives us this very clear, simple, direct guidance to look at desires with him, the desires to deny divinity. So in the honesty of God, see that you are light, admit where you deny the light and cease to deny the light by asking for a miracle. When you join, you will be calling to me and you will be heard and answered, so that you can build confidence that you are indeed directed by the one who knows, the one who will demonstrate to you that all the fears, every thought, feeling, and emotion that you experience appears because you desire it, and that this need not be. So when you feel upset, join quickly and ask me how to handle it. Ask me for the steps to take to recognize that this is indeed a desire, and that indeed, although you have denied many miracles, you can choose a miracle anytime by asking for it, and so it shall be given unto you. This will help train you to go to light first in all things. In this, you will cease to deny that indeed you are happiness. So we're looking at the desire to feel fragile, and then we can just be silent for a moment and see what else there is to see, to look at. What's most helpful to see?
I'm hearing right away, based on our previous joining just a few minutes.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
Yes, I just remembered we were getting into something. Yeah.
Is the desire to avoid holy relationship.
Yes.
That's just coming through in neon signs, because that's kind of what was underneath the desire to feel fragile.
Yeah.
So we can ask.
I hear yes on that for sure.
It's a good one for me right now, for sure.
Yeah, and we can look at the relishing of this and start there and just see, admit, yes, I have this desire, and then kind of let that sit with this desire to avoid holy relationship.
Okay.
It's like avoid hearing the voice of Jesus or my natural voice. Avoid, yeah, like
So are we, which one are we doing?
we're relishing avoiding a holy relationship.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's telling me this is exactly what I need to be looking at right now.
Yeah, it did.
I notice what he's showing me is how easily the Mary character falls into what I think I already know about my relationships with my family in particular, and I'm hanging on to special relationships there more than almost anywhere else, and so there's no room for holy relationship, so I'm avoiding it.
Mhm. Yeah, it also heard specialness, desire for specialness. Was one of the desires I was hearing. It's like I don't want to see that they're always with me. This whoever it is that's given is with me in the light. They're with me. And so it's like I want to push them out of awareness, get rid of them out of my mind. Or there's like this reaching for them, like this grabbing, grasping, trying to get something, because I feel like there's some kind of loss or something missing, and I'm trying to get that.
I'm also hearing that I'm turning a holy relationship into something conceptual, and I don't have any idea what that is and how it differs from the relationship that I think is good that I have now, in particular with a brother that's come up today.
Yeah, one thing he was saying is like I feel like no one's talking to me, like they won't talk to me, but what I hear is that I won't talk to Jesus. It's like I will not talk to him about it. I just keep avoiding that conversation with him about it. Ugh. We could look at the value that this holds for us, like what is in the desire.
I was hearing something going back to what you just said about how your relationship with your family right now is a reflection of your relationship with God. And I was just looking at this whole thing that's come up around my brother, thinking I have a good relationship, and then finding out, no, it's really been at a more superficial level. And there's the holy relationship is, it can hardly be spoken of. It's so much deeper than that. So I'm just looking at that as a reflection of my relationship with God, thinking, oh, my relationship with God isn't so bad, or whatever. But it's like, maybe I barely scratched the surface. Because like you said, our relationship with our brother is a reflection of our relationship with God. Is anyone else hearing anything they're hearing anything from Jesus on this about a special relationship that could be a holy relationship and avoiding holy relationship?
There's relishing. That's what I hear. Relish. To see the pleasure you get from avoiding holy relationship. I want it to be about them, really. Like I want there to be something wrong with them. That's why
It's their fault this isn't working.
yeah.
I heard that my, keeping distance between me and certain people or certain family members is keeping distance from God. It's like the same thing. Like trying to keep God at a distance.
Yeah, there feels like there's safety in that. Safety and security in that. There's like I'm seeing like expectations. I have expectations. I think that they do, but it's really, I think they have expectations for me, but it's really, I have expectations for for the relationship. There's like a desperation in this and a real like pride and relishing like the pleasure of the expectations and the desperation, like really, really, like it's like an addiction to feeling like desperate that I can't that I can't be with them somehow. It's oh.
I'm hearing that there's a fear of trust, of total trust of my brother, of God,
Yeah, there's like a safe distance, like Kathy was saying, distance, relish distance. Feeling like there's a distance.
So just for clarification, because I think myself and probably many other people, when they think of a holy relationship, they think of a two-sided holy relationship, or two people enter in consciously and agreeably into, this union for the healing of the mind. But that's not the case for me. So we're talking about making any relationship a holy relationship, even if it's just on our end.
Well, what I hear is like Jesus he's giving us those who we are to be joining with in holy purpose. And these are the ones that are given. And so it's like avoiding those relationships that are given for healing the mind. And that's the only purpose for them. The only purpose is for healing the mind. And then to avoid joining. So it feels like I push them out of my mind. I'm pushing the light out of awareness. I'm pushing the thought of them is like, I don't want to, I don't want them there. I want to get rid of them. Like I want to get rid of God. I want to get rid of the light. I want to discard it or get rid of it like completely.
What I'm hearing, Kathy, is that if we're in holy relationship with another person, both of them are aware of the well, I'm hearing the words higher quality. It goes above the mundane. It goes above the chit chat. It somehow there is in that relationship, and it may not be, it certainly isn't usually termed, oh, this is a holy relationship. No, there's something there that both recognize but may not be able to articulate, where there's just really an elevation of the relating that goes beyond the everyday stuff. And of course, for students of A Course in Miracles, we talk about holy encounters, and which can be very brief, or holy relationships in which there's a certain function that the two seem to have for each other, with each other, like they're in function together for the healing of the mind. And now I'm recalling some movies. Yeah, I'm recalling some
Mary,
movies. Yeah.
we went offline for just a second, so I'm catching the very tail end of what you're saying, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Kathy, did you catch any of that?
Yeah.
It might have just been me that I had maybe a power surge or something here.
Yeah, what I was hearing is that in a holy relationship, you may not term it that. Oh, we're in, but there's an awareness on the part of both people, quote unquote, both people, that there's a higher quality, you might say, or an elevation of that relationship that goes above the mundane.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about chit chat or how are the kids or whatever, how's your health, whatever it is. You may not even discuss such things. And it seems that both would be aware of that, but it may not be articulated. But there's a drawing together in common function together until that function is completed, and then that relationship has been, quote unquote, maximized. And what we're looking at is the desire to avoid elevating our relationships to that point of they're both talking about a higher purpose, or however you want to language it. They're both talking about how spirit is active in that relationship, whether they use those words or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not my choice. It's not like I said, okay, this person is, I'm in a holy relationship with them. It's through the guidance that those relationships become like clear. Okay, this relationship is for the purpose of healing. It's for healing the mind, and to focus on that.
Yeah, waking up to that.
The focus is on light. Yeah, the focus is on light and healing and the guidance. Like, what's the guidance? Continually, it's asking what the guidance.
And that may not be on the part of both people, but there's a knowing on both parts that there's something bigger going on here than just a role we're playing with each other or history of a relationship, quote unquote. But we're calling each other to a higher purpose.
Were you hearing anything else, Kathy, about that?
Not really. just mostly thinking of my, personal situations. And but what came in kind of strongly was that it's not always necessary to have both people, consciously approaching, the relationship that way. And I think of, Kate Greaves. I guess Jesus says somewhere in the Course that if you completely forgive one brother, you forgive them all, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad was her biggest forgiveness opportunity. And never once was he aware that she was doing that healing work. I mean, she never said anything to him, but it was all in her mind. And she completely healed, her whole perception of him. And now has a holy relationship with him, even though he's not on that same wavelength. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But there's a knowing there. I think there's an awareness there in him. He may not language it the same way we do. There's an awareness of the quality of the relationship.
Because I have like 3 different scenarios that, I really would like to investigate this further. And one is, the special relationships I have, like with the family that I love the most, I'm separated from. They live far away from me. I rarely see them. And there's a lot of grief there. And then there's my dad, who lives close by and I have a very superficial relationship with. And a lot of, trauma and stuff from the past. And then there's my mentally ill brother that I live with, that is a huge forgiveness opportunity for me. And even though I've prayed to Holy Spirit, I've handed these relationships over and asked him to, make them a holy relationship, that there hasn't been any evidence of that playing out in any way. You know what I'm saying? So I can only say that with my brother, there's a resistance in me to practice consistently seeing him as the Christ. And I heard earlier, when I was focusing on that, I heard that is just keeping me in hell. My inability and resistance to see him as the Christ.
Yeah, what I hear is just, we just focus on the desire, like how badly we or how much we really want to avoid holy relationship. So we just stay with the relishing of that. And we can ask, if there's holding or releasing with this desire.
Or here I hear holding.
Yeah, I'm hearing like if there's holding and to like start fresh without any idea. Because as soon as I think I know what a holy relationship is, then I'm it's like one step too far. And that it seems like a little step, like doesn't seem like hell, like Kathy, like you're saying, it's hell not being in a holy relationship. It's total, complete hell not to be in holy purpose. Because it just means that I'm denying my true nature, my true self, and I'm doing it, and it's so helpful to join with our brother to see where we are, where and what we're avoiding the most. It's that all that comes up, in a relationship, to see so directly, oh wow. And then not wanting to see that, just being like, no, I don't want to see that. I do not want to see that. In the worksheet, which we just use the worksheet to reference, and to help us stay on track, so to speak. I will remind you not to look upon the error and make it real. This is a denial of yourself. Look not at the experience. Join with me to look directly at the desire below the experience. Ask me if you desire the experience that you're having. For example, fear, upset. And if I tell you that you do desire it, admit that you do indeed desire the experience. Admission of the desire is powerful. It is no longer holding on to the denial that you are indeed denying divinity. This leads to very fast release and acceptance of the miracle. In other words, you are admitting that you do have a desire to deny that you are light through experience. Ask me then what to do and listen for my answer. Share my answer with your brother. If you are not clear, ask your brother what he hears from me and listen when he shares it. And then I feel like we could move into this. Ask me whether you are ready for the miracle, for I will tell you if you have a hidden desire to deny the miracle. And I'm reading that since we were hearing that there's some holding. So we can just look at that. Ask me if there's anything else you need to see.
Yeah, I'm hearing more, Kathy, about what you were talking about in terms of, is it Kate Greaves? Is that who you were saying? Anyway, when any of us are wanting to heal a relationship with another person, as we do the healing, then it heals as we do the inner work, then it heals the relationship. So in one sense, that other person may not, like you were saying, know anything about it, but a beautiful healing takes place. We just watched the Mr. Rogers movie, It's a Lovely Day in the Neighborhood, or something like that, where it just really illustrated that. A young man came to interview Mr. Rogers and needed to heal the relationship with his father, and he did. And the father was actually asking him for healing, Let's heal this. So anyway, yeah, it's I think it's all about the inner work, and then Jesus takes care of the rest. I mean, Holy Spirit takes care of the rest. Sometimes we can heal, and then maybe that relationship is maxed, and we move on, and that other person may never have changed or done anything, but we healed.
Yes, it's the change in the way that we see them is we're seeing them, we're asking for a miracle to see them in the light. And see where we're denying that, see where we're denying the light that they are.
Yeah, well, when I went back to like point zero, like Renee was suggesting, to just go back to just the relishing, what I just clearly saw was it's just an avoidance. It's an avoidance of love. It's an avoidance of the light.
Yes. Yep. I was hearing that too a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's like making more sense to me, when he says in the Course that our way to God is through our brother. I don't think I quite really ever understood that before. And but he puts a lot of emphasis on that.
What was it from the Course?
That that our salvation or our way to God is through our brother.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, which is such a stark contrast from the path I was on before, the path of yoga, which is all about just in meditation, and realizing the self through meditation. But Jesus puts a lot of emphasis in the Course on our relationships with our brothers. And I mean, and he devotes like, I don't know how many chapters to the holy relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw now for the first time looking at it with him, how that correlation between, our avoidance of holy relationship is an avoidance of the light. It's an avoidance of love. It's an avoidance of who we are. It's an avoidance of God, who is love. And it's, it's all like tied together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not wanting miracles, like nothing to do with the light, all this that we're starting to, in our joinings, we're starting to see how much we don't want the miracles, how much we don't want the light. And then that like opens us up to seeing directly, okay, this is my experience, and I want this. I really want this. Such power in the admission, such power. And then he's just reminding us of our innocence. Oh. And that we're all in this together. I think he was saying that this morning in the light circle. We all go to heaven together. And that's right now, right here, right now.
what I'm hearing is that there are brothers, quote unquote, that show up in our lives that seem to be particularly aggravating, or we want to project a lot of stuff onto them. And when we can take it back and start owning that it's not about that other person, no matter what they're doing, it's my interpretation and my judgment of them that's bringing lack of peace. And when I'm able to see the desire for that, or accept and admit that I'm the one that's coming up with the interpretation and the judgment, then there's some freedom in my own mind to see them a different way. And in that way, then they become our savior.
Yeah, and there's just such an encouragement in joining.
There's what now?
There's just this encouragement to join in the what's the word?
There's an encouragement to join in a moment of light.
Mm-hmm.
Then it takes the emphasis off of whatever we think joining is. Just FYI, it's about 7:45.
Oh, wow.
This is
Well,
a good
yeah.
one to look at. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like we can go deeper with this through our yeah. Just hearing just to stay with this one and take it all the way. Like don't let it slip away. keep it in awareness and continue to be with it.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit certainly brought that guidance in here at the center with all the time, all the looking we do here, not to stop too early. And if it is practical to do so, to continue to look at it and ask or journal about it, whatever, as we're prompted, so that it begins to dissipate and we are truly ready for a miracle then to see it differently. Carrie Lynn, are you in there somewhere? Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I'm just listening. I'm enjoying this. I'm learning a lot.
I bet you've got some good insights there.
Mhm.
Well, I have a hard time hearing.
Hmm. I don't know if the volume, would it help if the volume was turned up on your computer or
I
whatever?
mean, I have a hard time hearing the guidance.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, right.
Okay.
No, the volume's fine.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that might be something we want to address sometime, and that is, I have a desire to have a hard time hearing the voice for God.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, we can look at that for Thursday.
It
okay.
does feel, it feels like it's part of this too. It feels like it's
It
part of this.
does. Yeah.
So,
The stuff you were saying, it
yeah,
hit a note with me. Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Well, very beautiful. Thank you all for
Mhm.
your willingness to be here and join with us. Just keep coming back. Stay
Well, thank
stay
you.
with me, he says. Stay with
Yeah, and
me.
all the gifts we bring with what we're hearing and what we're sharing.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Jesus.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Good night,
Mighty.
y'all.
Night,
Thank
night.
you. Good night.